Horizons and in poetry also would be
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Maven Gardner, and I work as the Youth Leadership Coordinator at New Horizons currently. I also used to be a resident and recipient of services at New Horizons as someone with lived experience in homelessness and foster care. I've kind of just worked a lot more in advocacy, and that has led to me becoming an employee there. I'm also a poet, and so I've been writing since I was 7 years old, and I got traction when I was 19 when I became the Youth Poet Laureate for Seattle for a year term, and I published my anthology in the spring of 2017, and that kind of just led to creative writing and more social justice work also, and so yeah, I've gotten to do like a lot of public speaking with like Pramila Jayapal and like Macklemore, and just random opportunities that have been really fun but intimidating. So this is my next step. So I'm coming to this project as someone with lived experience in the homelessness field, and kind of giving my perspective on everything and seeing how I can be of help and maybe do a little bit of acting in the process.
Perfect. As a poet and increasingly a writer and maybe an actor soon, what what does art and music and poetry mean to you in the work that you do around homelessness?
So as far as what my music and my poetry and like my overall art means to me in the social justice community and like my social justice work in general, it means a lot to me just because I don't ever try to separate my social justice work from my art. It's always gone very, very hand in hand with me. So when I began writing, it was mainly about police brutality and kind of just existing as someone who identifies as non-binary and being in the queer community and also inhabiting a black and like brown body. And so my writing's always kind of been like political, or I guess a little bit like on the line of anarchy, I guess. And so I like to say that I don't get paid to be an anarchist. And so my solution was doing more policy work. I've always been someone who has wanted to mesh my poetry with my need to kind of do social justice though. And so when I started writing as more of a job rather than like a hobby, it started out mainly just teaching other folks how to tell their story within creative writing without any boundaries. And with that, I also started doing more public speaking within the social justice community with that same lens of being able to speak openly about my story and what I've been through, and solutions that would help folks who are living my story or might potentially live it without any barriers and without kind of like shunning all these voices and whatnot. Being in this light though, I guess I have a more alternative look, and so that's kind of been like the balance I found within doing my art and my social justice. It kind of gives me this small little window that I've really created for myself, that lets me be who I am but also make effective change.
That's great. What what's your hope? What do you hope will come?
Sorry.
Whatever.
Yeah, just decline it. That's what I do all the time. Yeah, I was like, that's the only person I answer the phone for.
What what's your hope for this project? Personally, and kind of what do you hope will come of it out in the world?
My hope for this project mainly is just getting the experience is like a big portion, but I was thinking about this a lot recently, and I think my biggest hope is like what we've talked about today, which is instilling hope in other people from the whole idea of this show. And I'm just really excited to see something in this light. When I first talked to y'all, it was about like me wanting to figure out more of how to tell this story about homelessness and folks who are experiencing it in a way that wasn't completely dark and depressing. And so meeting with John and Jeremy and everybody, just seeing the ideas that were already being put forth was just something that I was already on board with. And I just didn't know anybody else who was. And so I'm just really excited to see something in the same kind of like viewpoint that I was already on. So I'm really excited to build some experience, to meet some new people, make some connections. Hopefully not be too terrible at acting. But yeah, I'm just really excited for the most part to have this kind of like new like lens shined on those who experience homelessness, especially here in Seattle in this time.
That's perfect.
So what do you think is unique about what we're trying to do?
Ooh. What's unique about what y'all are trying to do is definitely just the perspective that you're coming from, and really, really I think making that huge step of asking for folks with lived experience, because there's a lot of people out in the field as far as just homelessness in general, like the policy work and whatnot, that say they want folks with lived experience, but they're not at the table from the beginning. And so that's something that really drew me to this project, is from the get-go, you guys are using people that have lived experience from the very beginning, because I think when we do welcome a lot of folks out into like this kind of work, whether it's entertainment or policy work, we make sure that we have like this whole plan, and then we welcome people in, and it's not like from the groundwork, from the nitty-gritty, that we're having people's opinions really in the forefront. And so I really, really appreciate that, and that's very unique to me. So there's not like a whole like already fabricated kind of like idea, and then you're welcoming people's ideas and voices in. It's just like making sure that they're the ones doing that groundwork is very, very important. So thanks for that.
Yay. Thank you, Maven.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you like performing in front of other people on stage, on camera?
I like performing in front of other people. I like performing on other people, but because I serve in 3 different art communities, or I guess communities in general, I don't know if policy work is necessarily an art, but when it comes to public speaking and my poetry, I'm all for it. Like I've found kind of like a way to work through my awkwardness, so that like it's very apparent that I'm a little weird and stiff at first, but I like kind of find my grounding as I go along. But being someone who's like new to the music scene, totally different thing, and so that's been scary. And so acting is kind of like hand in hand with that, only because I don't really know much about it. But I'm not a huge fan of being the center of attention, but because I feel like some things I've learned to accept, that I have things that people actually want to hear, and so I have some things to say. I've kind of taken on that role in my life, and I'm okay with doing it now. Terribly anxious, but it probably doesn't show when I'm in front of the camera or on stage. But yeah, so I do enjoy it because it's something that I feel like is like a need. But if there was a way to do it without being in front of hundreds or thousands of people, I would absolutely take that route too. But yeah, until I can hologram myself in places, then I guess I'm gonna keep doing this. So yeah, for the most part, yeah, I do enjoy it.
So pretend for a second that this shirt gets finished, and it's made, and it's out in the world.
Yeah.
What do you think somebody will walk away from after they watch it? If they've been living on the outside of this thing, and they kind of see the result of like all the work.
Just the finished product?
Yeah.
What I feel that people, or like the main audience, is gonna like take away from this. Well, actually, I would say what I hope is just like I would say I just hope they have like a whole new understanding of youth who are experiencing like housing instability, and just folks in general, because I feel like there's just, in Seattle especially, there's just this very one way of thinking when it comes to youth and that are homeless. It's just like they're lazy, they're like not inspired enough to do anything. So I'm just hoping that this just like gives a whole new lens, I guess. I don't really know if there's anything else other than I feel like hope has been said a lot today. But yeah, that's just my whole thing. I just really hope that people are going to not only walk away with like a new idea of how this actually, like how the stories really play out, but also work. Maybe this will be like a way for them to better inform themselves, or maybe this will be a way for people to like get more involved. Like, okay, yeah, like this is like my community, I'm a part of this community, I make up this community. But also I really do hope people question themselves, because I think one thing we have a hard time as like Seattleites remembering is like, what part do you play in homelessness? What part do you play in the lives of these youth who are all around you? So I really hope people do question themselves, and that questioning pushes them to do something to better advocate for those who are like homeless in their communities.
Wow, you're the best.
So.
Amazing.
I think that,
Yeah.
I think that's more than that's.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
Good to go.
So just tell me your name and how you got involved in this project.
My name is Raymond Power. I got involved in the project. I took a screenwriting class at the film school, and I got to know some people there, and told me about the project, and I had some passions involved. I was homeless myself and grew up on the streets, and abusive family, ended up in gangs and prison. So this project touched a place in my heart that I felt a lot of passion. I give back to the community as it is. So to hear about bringing awareness to a problem that we're having these days. It just, I wanted to be involved.
How do you give back to the community? What sort of stuff?
I've gone into prisons and teach life skills to inmates when they're about to get out, so they can try to succeed just like I've succeeded. There's not a lot of mentors out there when you get out, and a lot of doors are shut when you get out. So for them to see somebody else that has been in their shoes and is doing well in life, it encourages them and gives them hope, just like this project is. We're trying to do is give people hope. I also work with at-risk youth, gang prevention. I was in a gang myself, so I talk to the younger generation and show them there's another way. It doesn't have to be fighting and gangs and drugs. You can go to school, you can be an actor, you can do whatever you want to do.
I forgot to mention, so when I ask you a question, just kind of repeat my question
Okay.
back to me.
Okay.
That's all right. We'll be all right so far.
Okay. Repeat the question.
What do you hope people get out of seeing and being exposed to something like this?
What I hope people will get out of seeing and being exposed to this is to bring a human touch to it, to humanize people, to see it could be anybody that this could go through. It's your neighbors, it's your friends, it could be your kids, it could be you. And I just want to bring awareness so that people know these are our neighbors, these are our friends, these are our families. They're not just people that we can turn away and not look at.
What's it like seeing stuff that you've like written, performed?
It's pretty cool, you know. I've been acting.
Say that.
Oh, what it's like to see stuff that I've performed is pretty amazing. This has been a dream of mine for about a year, and to see my life, you know, parts of my life coming together in a screenplay, something that I helped write, is very encouraging, and it brings me more passion, and it makes me know that I could do anything if I put my mind to it.
What kind of role have movies played in your life?
The role movies have played in my life, they helped me in the darkest times. They gave me joy when I was sad. They've been a big part. My grandma got me involved in movies as a kid. And they've always been close to my heart, and it's always been something I've been passionate, but I never thought I could do it. I thought I was going to be on the streets forever, just a gang member from prison. And to be able to, you know, go to the film school and participate in something like that, it's opened up my awareness and shown me that I can do anything. I can be an actor, I can be a screenwriter, that I bring value to people around me.
Do you think someone who sees this will be impacted by it the same way that you were when you saw movies and they kind of lifted you up?
I'm trying to think how I would say that back to that.
Just say, like, I think
Say
someone
yes, Jeremy.
I think that someone that sees this.
I think someone that sees this would get passion, just like this stuff has given me passion. It shows us in a light that humanizes us. It makes us, how am I saying this? It gives us passion just by seeing somebody like you in that predicament and seeing that people do care and people are passionate about what you're going through. It gives you hope.
Okay, you're sitting across from somebody who's got $1 million in their pocket,
Okay.
and you want them to help out. What do you say?
Okay.
You don't have to repeat.
Okay,
the question.
I'm like,
Just-
do I have to
you just
repeat the
set-
question?
set it up for you.
So why should people in Seattle help out with this project?
People in Seattle should help out with this project because this is your home. These are the people that you see every day, and if you giving back to the community is going to help your community. Helping the people around you helps everybody. You know, it's not just an individual's problem; it's the whole community's problem, and it's not a problem. It's stuff we deal with every day, and it needs to be addressed. And I was able to change my life with the help of mentors and the help of people encouraging me, and for us to give back to other people to help them is what it's all about.
Is it a fun way to help out too?
Yeah, it's an amazing way. The arts are amazing. There should be more stuff involved in the arts because arts literally transformed my whole life, and I know it'll transform tons.
I got more questions. So personally, Raymond, not Seattle, who are you doing this for? Personally, who are you acting for and writing for?
I'm acting for my family, my community, Tacoma, the nation, anybody that's...
Wardrobe department.
Back of your shirt's just like bunching here. Yeah, can I do it?
Just
Yeah.
Raymond, I always love it when you talk about your kids.
yeah, check
Okay.
off.
My
And
kid.
your grandma and your grandson.
Good, right?
That's who you
Better?
look for.
Okay.
Better, thank you.
But still looking.
Okay, still look at you.
So who are you doing
Sorry.
this for?
I'm doing this for my family and my kids. I have 5 kids, and one's my little brother who I adopted, and I want them to see me achieve my dreams and show them that they can do anything if they put their mind to it. I'm also doing this for my wife and my grandma, my mom, and my community and my friends that look up to me, to show them that anything is possible, and there's always hope at the end of the tunnel.
All right.
I got one more idea. Just, I think what's really cool about your story and the story of this project is that, you know, only so many people can see you and the hope you represent, but this is a way to export that to a larger format where more people can see the story of hope that you experienced and that you succeeded within. And so one of the efforts of this project is to carry on that possibility of hope.
Mm-hmm.
And so
To
maybe
a larger audience.
to a larger audience, and you could maybe say, just personalize that story in your own way. Like, what's cool about this is, you know, I experienced a story of hope with my own efforts, and I think this project has a chance to share that.
On a bigger level.
Yeah.
On a bigger. I've experienced this project. It's given me hope, and I know this project can reach a whole nother level. I went into social service mental health to help my community, and I'm doing the projects in arts to help the world, to help the nation. I think we can reach out to more than just our backyard. I think we can reach out to everybody and show everybody that you should be involved and you should help your community and you should help your world.
Awesome.
Okay.
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Right on.
You got even more fans after that.
Good. Good. Sounds good.
Okay?
Tina, you want to
I was just gonna say, Tina.
talk about your Birkenstock?